Hello everyone and welcome back to BIMMERHEAD. In the previous video we started working on the 550i. We washed it, we pushed it inside, and we removed the engine. If you missed that video, click on the right corner link that I've attached. But for this video we will continue where we left off. Right. We got the engine out and it's on the stand. Now it's time for us to take all of the wiring out. The turbochargers need to come out, the exhaust manifold needs to come out, all of the belts need to be disconnected on this side, the AC compressor needs to come out. Basically we're gonna need to end up with just a bare block. The head will come out, well, you know, the oil pan has to come out, basically completely disassemble this engine, but we have to do it in a way that we can remember to put it all back. So there is a method that I'm using every time I do something like this. I mean, I've only done it once, this is the second time, but I did some research, I know a little bit about what to expect here, but we'll learn together. My way of making sure that I know the order of all the parts is to arrange them off the engine in a particular order. Like if I take one part out, I'll put it starting from left to right on the rack behind there, so I will know which part comes next when it comes to put it back onto the engine. So it's like the exact reverse of what I'm doing when I'm taking it all apart. So it makes it easier. You store the actual part with its bolts. So that's what I've been doing, and it turns out to be really effective. Some people like to bag them, tag them, but I think that's just a waste of time. Just like go on and get on with it, you know? I'm starting to remove the wire harness, and don't worry about the plugs not going back to where they belong, because the wires are at a particular length and they can't be mixed and they can't go in a different order. And just to make sure, just take some photos if you're gonna do something like this. After the turbos and the exhaust manifolds are removed, there are two heat shields that need to be removed, and then you can see if this car had a lot of oil leaks coming from the turbo pipes or if it was an actual rear main seal leak. And in this case, as you can probably see, it was a huge leak. They do have a drain hole in the back, so if you have oil leaks coming from between the gearbox and the engine, you naturally would think that that's a rear main seal leak. But in this case, with this engine, because the turbos are inside of the hot V, their oil leaks are collecting inside of the V and then drain through a hole on the back of the engine. So it looks like a rear main seal, but in fact is just oil from the turbos. I don't have a special puller for the injectors, but we might be able to pull them out without the special puller. We'll see. And you usually use like a slide hammer, you just thread it here and slide it out, but I don't have that, so we'll have to be creative about that. There's obviously some like broken bolts in there, like it's proof that somebody worked on it before. I found a way. Apparently it's not bad to buy the actual puller, but I found a nut that fits and this L-shape bracket from the engine lift, so I can bolt this to the injector and then I can put this crowbar through and use the hammer to hammer on the crowbar. Not the most effective, but it works. Do the job. Simulating the slide hammer. It works. It's not pretty, but it works. So we got all of them out. Okay. That's promising. I don't see very much build-up. I mean, just the regular, which is good. They're mirror finish. Okay. Now, there's two O-rings here for the solenoids. Mirror shine, and then you just see it. Boop. What happened there? One of the rocker arms is not in its place. Is this rocker damaged as well? Doesn't look bad. Okay, now we have the timing gears removed, the chain tensioner removed, and we can go ahead and remove the head, which means there's the main head bolts, and also I see only two smaller aluminum ones in the front. Check out the carnage. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think that makes the whole block unusable. So we definitely need a new block. Oh, and there's some damage on this cylinder too. That's a shame. Both sides heads are off, and on this side, as you can tell, everything looks very good. But still, there's no use for this engine block anymore with this type of damage in here. I mean, probably there are options to sleeve the engine, but I don't want to do that. I want to find a good block. Believe it or not, I don't know if you can see, that cylinder is also cracked down the middle, so the impact was quite violent. But, you know, it would make for a really nice coffee table. That's the good side, right? I was expecting the engine to be really bad, so this doesn't come as a surprise. It's just interesting how this happened at 50,000 miles. engine and serviced at BMW. Look at that. I tried to eat its timing chain guides. Of course, timing chain guides everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Now you must be wondering what's next. Well, I have to get a second engine, or at least a second block. But I don't want to just go and buy a second block, because then I would need to go and buy new pistons. I would need to go and buy a different head as well, because the head has been destroyed. And that option is probably the most expensive. The second option would be to go with a broken engine that has a different type of damage and hopefully be able to save what I need from that engine. Like if it has a different problem, then the block might be okay, so I could use that block and reuse most of these parts. Of course, I'm gonna need a new head as well because that one is damaged, but we'll see what we can find. So I don't know what I'm gonna do next. We'll find an option. I will definitely find a way to fix this car. So thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for the next episode as I will find a solution.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown.